Good morning and welcome to Thursday morning, the 9th of December. Today, we're entering a whole new division in the book, part 4. Yes, we're still in the Sermon on the Mount. Uh, we've been through three parts already, three main sections so far: kingdom character, kingdom commands, kingdom devotion, and today we start in kingdom priorities. Kingdom priorities goes from Matthew 6:19 to 7:28. I'm going to read for you the overview of this section because I think this is going to be helpful, and that'll be our devotion for today. I won't jump from this into one of the devotions, but take notes. It has an opening section from a book called Salt and Light from Eberhard Arnold, the good fruit of the deed and the new love for all that flows from the heart is what marks the new life spoken of in the Sermon on the Mount. Where these words of Jesus become life and action, there is God's firm building, which cannot be overthrown, even in the final catastrophe. So here's an overview of this section that we're entering today, kingdom priorities. Jesus has shown us that his kingdom is a community that lives in stark contrast to the world's expectations and established religious systems. That doesn't mean his followers have arrived at a utopia or escaped temptation, sin, or the idols of their age. There are still dangers to those who follow the way of Jesus, which he addresses next. For instance, Jesus warns against wealth and storing up earthly treasures. We cannot serve both God and money. Only when we are free of the cares and comforts of this world are we completely free to serve God. Matthew's gospel doesn't specify what storing up treasure in heaven entails. Luke's account, however, makes it clear. Eternal treasure consists of deeds, especially those that meet the needs of the poor. Jesus then warns against judging others. Instead, we should do for them what we should have them do, what we would have them do for us. We must be humble yet discerning when it comes to those who reject what is holy. All this requires prayer. We should confidently and persistently turn to God with our requests. The Father in heaven will give the Holy Spirit to all who ask him. He hears us, cares for us, and provides for us. At the end of the sermon, Jesus leaves us with a choice. Following him demands that we embark on a narrow way. This way is unconditional and absolute. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. We must put Christ's words into practice with all we have and are. Otherwise, we are like a house built on sand and will not withstand the storms of life. When it comes to following Jesus, there can be no exceptions, no excuses, no compromises, and no complacency. That last sentence is a challenge and it's a truth. When it comes to following Jesus, there can be no exceptions, no excuses, no compromises, and no complacency. In other words, when we choose to follow Jesus, when we hear his call and decide that we're going to take up our cross and follow him, there is no bargaining table. There is no contract negotiation. He is Lord. And we live the way he lived, and we live the way he wants us to live, and we live the Sermon on the Mount. And we do it together. And so we are going to start into the section tomorrow with a devotion from someone in the book, Kingdom Priorities. In other words, if I'm living in this kingdom, what takes precedent? What are the priorities in this kingdom? Not the kingdom of the world, not the life that I want to live and craft and construct for myself and for my family, but what are the kingdom priorities by which I am called to live? Tomorrow, we'll hear from John Wesley on the matter. Blessings to you today. I hope you look forward to wanting not just to hear somebody read these to you and give you a minute or two of challenge at the end, but you're listening to these because you want to live out the Sermon on the Mount. Jesus taught it. Jesus gave principles in these chapters, in these verses. We should want to hear what he has to say, and we should want to obey. Blessings to you today.